Oh man, she's in the building, man. Oh yeah, she's here, man.
Hey.
Oh man, surprise, man. This is a beauty right here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, oh man, PocaSPEAKS. Oh, Shanice. What is that? How you say it? Yeah, AG ain't gonna let me see that. Probably. How you doing? We'll bring you to the craft. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Sheena Moreau.
Shania.
Shania. Yeah, Shania. I want to say it right.
Uh-huh.
Shania Moreau. Gotta get that name.
Yeah, you gotta get it right.
How are you doing?
I'm amazing. How are y'all?
We great.
Feeling great. Can't complain.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, we're feeling good. Our spirits is up. We was watching some of your videos last night, and you was going in on a lot of stuff. And man, I can't wait to introduce you to the craft, man. My boy was telling me, he said, yo, she need to be on your craft, man. And I said, oh, definitely. After I watched some of your videos, me and Soldier, we was like, yo, this is gonna be good. Yes. Yo, man, welcome to the Killah Priest podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes. So how are you today? And let us know what's going on.
I'm amazing. I heard y'all talking about Gemini season. I'm a Gemini, so shout out. Okay.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
We in here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. We've got a couple twins in the building, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get into some topics with y'all. I heard a little bit of conversation. I heard mentions of frequencies and things. So however y'all want to do it, let me know. You know, Geminis, we go with the flow anyway.
Yeah, that's real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Man.
that's real.
Yeah, exactly. My son, his birthday's right
around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
We'll let it throw, huh?
What date?
The 4th.
Okay, I'm the 15th.
Oh, the 15th? Okay, that's what's up. My mom's the 16th. That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now we do it. We always get the hate though. But you know, it is what it is.
They hate us because they ain't us, and that's okay.
That's real.
Every time there's a couple of Geminis, I always say the room is crowded now. You got a couple of Pisces, Pisces up in there, so the room is crowded. So I feel a little bit comfortable. You know what I mean? Like this. So let us know what's going on with the signs and the time that we're in. Could you expand on that? Because I know that you are very highly enlightened. A lot of stuff that you was talking about. I said, man, this sister is enlightened, and it's beautiful when sisters could do that. So I'm gonna just give the floor to you. You know what I mean? The craft boy to you, and it's on you.
So for those who don't know me, I go by PocaSPEAKS. I've been doing social media spirituality for almost 6 years now. And I came in doing tarot. I came in doing a lot of personal shadow work or healing and things of that nature. And me being the Gemini that I am, I had to share my voice. So of course I hopped online and got on live and I just started talking, and it kind of just snowballed from there. And of course, the more that I learned, the more that I shared, and I started to teach whatever I had. I have been really getting more into astrology for, I want to say, the last 3 years specifically. I just released a ebook, particularly for 2024. The year is magical. I keep telling everybody this is the year to really go for whatever you think is for you, and even the things that you don't think are for you. You need to try to go for that too. Because the energy here is just conducive for that and more. It is the year of abundance. We have a lot of Jupiter energy. Jupiter and the sun just kind of danced around a couple days ago on the 18th. And then on the 25th, Jupiter goes into Gemini. So Geminis, we got Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, expansion, opportunity, in our sign until June 9th of 2025. So we, have a good opportunity to really tap in, not only just for Gemini placements, but also if you have Virgo in your chart, if you have Pisces in your chart, if you have Sagittarius in your chart, you will also be heavily affected by this Jupiter transit in Gemini, just because of how abundant it is. And because Gemini is the socialite, the community sign, big on social media. So anybody who has any content that you sitting on, I don't know why. Put it out, get it out. Even if you think nobody is looking, nobody will like it, nobody will pay attention. Trust me, it will be seen. As you can see, content is what's taking over right now. Cat Williams kind of popped it off. He's a Virgo, right?
Wow.
And then we Kendrick Lamar, who just did what he did, which was disrespectful, and he's a Gemini, right? And Pusha T, Virgo, Metro Boomin, Virgo. I'm sorry, Pusha T is a Gemini, Metro Boomin, Virgo.
Oh, wow.
So what's happening right now is very, very intertwined. Not only that, but Gemini is one of those signs that's going to just give it to you exactly how it is, no holds barred. It is what it is. And we can see that is happening right now as well with the exposure of Puffy and a lot of other people, and a lot of other things that are going on politically as well. So this is the year to tap in. This is the year to do what you're supposed to do, grind it out. Of course, it's not going to come to you if you sitting on your. Can I cuss on here? I don't know if y'all cuss. Of course, it's not going to you sitting on your behind. I'm gonna say it like that.
Yeah.
So get up, get active. It's a lot of Mars energy influencing us as well. Mars is the planet of discipline and hard work. When we think of Mars, we think of Aries. And if you know what Aries, then you already know what I'm talking about. Capricorn energy as well. So it's time to get it. There's really no excuse. The only reason you don't win this year is because you didn't get up and try.
Oh, wow.
That's positive.
I feel inspired right now. There you go.
Did that work for all the signs? Like you named a couple that's like is the solars affecting. Did that work for all the signs? Or you got to get in it, or is like the big three? You know what I mean? Like you got the you said I think you said the Aries and Gemini and the Jupiters.
So heavily affected signs are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. And that's because anytime something is going on with, let's say, for example, Gemini, for that being what we're talking about, because Gemini is a mutable sign, so is Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. Mutable signs mean that they can adapt to anything. They are able to do whatever they need to do, adapt to any situation, make anything happen. They are the most optimistic because they don't believe in the word no. You can't tell none of those signs no, it's impossible, because they're going to go prove you wrong. So those signs will be the most affected. And the thing about, zodiology or astrology, whatever you want to go by, is we all have our own personal birth charts. And our own personal birth charts consist of numerous signs. So you're not just a Gemini, you're not just the Aries, you're not just the Capricorn. You are composed of so many different signs coming together in different places that make you who you are. So we usually say placements because you may have Gemini sun, which is what we go by birthdays. That's your sun sign. So if you're born August 14th, you will be a sun sign Leo. If you're born December 5th, you would be a sun sign Sagittarius. If you're born March 31st, you would be a sun sign Aries. So those are your sun signs. But then you have a moon sign. You have a rising sign. You have a Mars, a Venus, a Pluto, a Uranus, a Venus. I say Venus. You have houses as well. So you have 1 through 12 houses. And then you have a Lilith. You have a South Node. You have a North Node. You have an MC. There's so many different placements. So when I say it affects everybody, it does, because you have a lot of us have those signs somewhere in our chart, but the key is figuring out where they are in your chart so you can really capitalize on that area.
Oh, wow, man.
There you go.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm going to start with, when did you get this enlightenment about the stars?
So from a child, I've always been fascinated with zodiacs. When I learned I was a Gemini, I was like, oh, I took that on and I wore that like a badge of honor and continued to, try to look into it and research. Geminis, we're intellectual. We rule by Mercury. So we're the planet of communication and intellect. We are like sponges. The more information we can get, the better we are as a person. When we're not learning, we can get depressed. It gets crazy. So I've always been, craving information, and my family, is religious. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My grandmother is a pastor, or an apostle. My mother is a pastor.
Right.
So I always say that I've always been spiritual, but it was under the mentality of religion. It wasn't until I was able to see things for myself and get from under that umbrella that I was able to see how everything really correlates and how religion is just, the watered down version of spirituality. And once I got that revelation, that was all she wrote. I went full speed ahead, all gas.
Did they try to hold you back?
Of course. I got coach
Yeah.
and people, and you over there playing with demons. And hey, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But the most demons I've ever seen was in church.
Right.
So you can feel how you feel, but it doesn't negate the evil that's within them four walls as well. So of course, in the beginning, it's a frustrating process when that's the family is. For my family, the family is church. Like, that's just what it is. If you're not with the church, you're not really with the family. So because of that, me again being very family oriented, that was very difficult. But I've also mastered the art of detachment, and I know where to leave people. Some people may need a gate where they can still be some holes in between and I can communicate with you through the gate. And some people need a wall where there's just nothing else there and no communication. So, it's subjective, but I'm in a great space now with it.
Yeah, you seem free.
Respect that. Yeah, I respect that. We need our ear, you feel me? I think that's the truth. I think we need to be able to allow to be speak. If we're not being heard, then it's a waste of our time. So it's like, I felt that. I resonate with that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's you seem free now, and the wisdom is flowing that you got away from all of that stuff and the religious bottle that had you bottled up. Now that you're free and you able to take us to the next level, continue, please, and let us go. I'm being enlightened right now, so I'm loving it.
You could tell Priest was a Leo because he's wearing like a tiger outfit.
I was supposed to get that soon. Yeah, I'm a Leo. Yeah, I'm a Leo.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. We coming up in the stretch later on. No yoga. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, regardless, it's gonna be Gemini year.
Yeah, I rep the Geminis all day.
A little bit of light, most definitely. But I mean, what specifically would you want me to go deeper into? Let me know.
Well, there's a lot of confusion that's going on in that atmosphere right now. Like, all this crazy stuff. You got these Scorpios running all over the place. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Meek though, but you got a bunch of Scorpios running around. Like you said, Drake, and you got P. Diddy. He's ducking everything. That has something to do with what's going on with the universe right now. Are they trying to tell us something about the signs? Is this the signs of the time? Oh, that's good, AD. We got to use that.
That's good. You might gotta, trace that or something, because that's pretty good. I I do think, Scorpios are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about Pluto is it is also linked to karma, and it moves slow. That's one key thing to kind of think about when we think about how it's playing out. Drake was able to get away with things for a very, very long time. So was Diddy. So was all of these other people, because it moves slow. But once Pluto get on your behind, you're got, and that's just what it is. And that's what we're kind of saying right now, especially with us being in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about facts. It's all about being open-minded, which is why we see a lot of out-of-the-box things being now accepted a lot more easily, because we're in Aquarius. And Aquarius wants you to learn. It's an air sign. All air signs are highly intellectual. So Aquarius wants you to learn, and it doesn't want you to box yourself in at all. If you tell an Aquarius that they just like somebody else or something, they are so offended, because they're like, how dare you say that I'm not unique? They pride themselves in being very, very unique and very different and thinking completely outside of the box. So this is only the beginning. We are going to be in the age of Aquarius for a couple more 100 years. Mm-hmm. So this is what you call the golden age. This is what you call the age of awakening. We call the age of enlightenment. And that's what we see happening. It's a slow burn for sure, because we're just crossing over into it. It started around 2019, 2020-ish. And if you think about what happened during that time, it's very telling as to what kind of started to happen thereafter and what's happening now. It's like every year, it just gets crazier and crazier, and we learn more and more about things that were in our face the whole time. I heard you guys talking about some of the movies that you were watching and how there's messages in those things. And you can go back to movies from the 70s, the 80s, and there's messages that, affect us and are still relevant to this day. And, there's a universal law where you have to let a person know what you're doing to them for you to do it and not have karma. And that's how they've been getting away with it. That's why they sprinkle it in your movies and they sprinkle it in your TV shows and they put it in the music. That's their way of saying, hey, this is what we're doing to you. While you dancing and you grooving, and you stepping to the left and to the side, they let you know that they poisoning your food. They let you know while you watching TV and you laughing, ha, 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 they clone Tyrone. So it's
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good reference right there.
And putting a lot of other things around it to keep us distracted, but to also be like, well, we told you. You ain't say nothing about it. You didn't do nothing about it. Oh, you thought it was just a movie? Oh, well, that don't have anything to do with us. But a lot of them are getting, karmatic justice at this point, because our ancestors, one thing about them is they ain't never been no punks. We just didn't know that. They just didn't want to teach us that, because when they spark that back up in us, we gonna take it there every time. What Kendrick said, you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do.
Oh, man. Drop. He just wanted to keep it PG. No, that's real. That's heavy what you're saying. I feel you. And like I said, we was watching those movies and it just put me in that zone. I think, people should be getting a little bit more spiritual, definitely now, and the signs are definitely there. The shows, but we need guidance, like sometimes, and that's where you come in at.
Absolutely, I tell all of my clients, my goal is not for you to need me. My goal is for you to not need me. If you still need me after working with me, then what did I do? How did I benefit you? How did you grow? Because spirituality is a personal journey. I can't teach you exactly what to do to heal yourself. I can give you tips. I can give you tools. I can give you exercises. But going there with yourself and facing yourself, eye to eye, only you can do that. Only you can fight that battle. Only you have the authorization to go that far, because you know everything about yourself more than anyone else. So, you know, it is a time for people to tune in. And if you realize, a lot of people are being called to be in a house more. They don't want to be outside. You know, people are not really clubbing like they used to. People are not even drinking and smoking like they used to. You see a lot of people either turning to religion or spirituality, or just having some type of moral compass, you know, more so than ever now, and calling out things that vibrate at a very low frequency. And I think those are some great beginner steps. We have a long way to go as a people. We've already come very far in 400 years. I mean, God damn it, we got to give ourselves some credit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, then for us to be where we are, you know, we got to give ourselves something. But we still do have work to do. And a lot of it is accountability. And that's where we kind of have this battle with, you know, our people specifically is we accountable for our stuff. You know, yes, we've had a lot of stuff happen to us, but, you know, what got you to that point of trauma may not be your fault, but what keeps you there is. So at a certain point, you have to do your own work and figure out how to detach from that trauma and give yourself, you know, or reunite your true identity, the identity that was stolen from us and hidden from us in his story, and create our own story, you know, and reawaken who we are. And I think it's happening for sure. You know, for sure it's happening in conversations like this, platforms like this. You know, you guys are definitely awesome in helping and aiding to get the information to people who may not really even think they need it. You know, you guys are keeping a lot of conversations light, and you're talking about a multitude of different things, and creating a space that is comfortable for people who may not know, but they get here and you sprinkle a couple of gems and now they off on a rat race trying to figure out what's going on.
That's real. That's real. That accountability is a hard pill to swallow, though. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like doing it because it's a lot of self-reflection that is very humiliative, and you got to like look at yourself like that. So, you know, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, people need to be healed. I mean, that's the number one thing for me. People got to really focus and look at themselves from a very vulnerable eye. So I understand, and it's a lot of ego that got to get detached. Because a lot of people get fed into that ego, so that's what kind of kills them sometimes, you know, and that pride.
That's the part right there. And, you know, also the idea of what people told us accountability was. Accountability is not weakness. It takes a strong person to admit that they're wrong. That takes strength. It's easy to blame people. That's easy to point a finger. I mean, that's the easiest thing you can do. But to sit there and be like, you know what? I did play a part in this. I did cause this to happen. You know, had not I done this, this would not be the result. You're absolutely right. That takes strength. And when you understand what true strength is, you move differently and you don't care about what other people say, because they got crap they need to be accountable for too. So, you know, a lot of people who are not as courageous will always make you look or try to make you feel crazy for being courageous.
Man, you touching on it. Give you a bomb right there. Touching on it, man. Ooh, yeah, have you heard, not to switch it too much, but like, have you heard because of, I've heard that even with the Bible, when you start getting into religion and stuff like that, but that even deals with astrology in there. Have you heard that? Huh?
When you copy it from astrology, it's going to have astrology in it.
Wow. Really?
If I take something and I rewrite it almost verbatim, but I just switch a couple things, then of course it's going to look almost identical to the original or have some commonalities. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Could you give us some examples? I know the 12 fruits and stuff. 12. There's 12.
Yeah, the 12 disciples are symbolic of the zodiac signs, the 12 zodiacs. You have the son of God, and you have the sun, right? We are, the sun is what gives us the fuel that we need. It feeds our melanin. The reason that we are the powerful people that we are is because of carbon. 666 that they made us think was demonic is actually 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, which is carbon. So, they demonize a lot of those things while still having to use it, because if they took it out, it wouldn't make any sense. So they just flipped it and, try to make it something other than what it actually was, to confuse, so that we wouldn't know what certain things are and be able to take advantage of them. Like Christians don't even understand why they celebrate Easter. They don't understand that has something to do with the full moon. It don't have nothing to do with Jesus. Or anybody else. Christmas, it has nothing to do with Jesus. It is actually to commemorate the winter solstice, which is when the sun goes to its lowest point for 3 days and then it rises. Sounds familiar. So, is what actually, quote unquote, dies. It goes through its rebirth period. It's Scorpio period, it's Pluto period. And then it rises back and starts its next transit. So that's where they got the whole, Jesus died and then rose. Nobody has ever died and rose. That's impossible. But the sun has, for sure. And it does every year. So they like to write things and flip it, and, any book that was used, that was the only book that you could read during slavery, I don't think is a book that we should trust.
Right.
If they weren't allowing us to read basic things, then they definitely can't be trying to, make us live our lives based on the one book that we could read. That just doesn't make sense. So,
man, I just feel like I just got on Noah's chart. That's heavy that you go in there. You're winning too. For real, that was very enlightening, man. That's great. Yeah, so it always come back around 360 degrees, the way you even put it. So that shows you that your path that you on. I mean, we need to get on some type of path to get somewhere, and that seems like a very enlightened path. No pun intended, but the sun, you tell them with the planets and stuff. That's very. I guess I want to ask next because this is going in almost like, remind me of like tarot cards, tarot readings and things like that. Do you mess with any of those? That's like right up my alley, right? I'm throwing you the ball. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what I started off doing when I first, started to what I call tapping in or getting more serious with my journey. My intuition told me to get some tarot cards. And coming from a Pentecostal church, we call that demonic or witchcraft. And it was, I'm a big intuitive person. I'm big on my intuition. I don't care what nobody else is saying. If my gut says something else, I'm going to go with that always. And no matter how much, fear or speculation was around me tapping into it, I still felt so pulled towards it. And that was something I couldn't deny. I sat in church my entire life and would be looking at people running around and jumping. And I'm like, well, am I going to get it? How do you get it? Is it something that, do I need to talk to somebody? Calling on the same name y'all calling on, how is it hitting you? It's not hitting me. And then me being who I am, I was asking serious questions at a young age. Like, when you speaking in tongues, what are you saying? My mama would be like, it's in the spiritual realm, but I'm like, if God gave you the message, why he give you something you can't interpret?
Wow, you was asking real tough questions at your folks.
So, at that age, the response that I would get is, either God don't want you to know that, or, if you knew everything God knew, then God wouldn't be God. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense because we learn new things every day. So why is this particular thing off limits? Certain things just didn't make sense to me, or the fact that we serve a forgiving God, but he never just simply forgave the devil and we could have just been living a peaceful life this whole time.
Did it make you want to?
We can't forgive him. And, why do we have to be born into something we didn't ask for? If you didn't want Adam and Eve to eat from the tree, why did you put it in front of them? If I don't want a toddler, someone who doesn't have the same mental capacity as me, to get into something, I'm going to put it in a place unreachable because I care for their safety. So certain things just didn't make sense. If my God is so loving, why did he consciously put me in a situation that he knew would end in my demise potentially? That just doesn't feel very loving to me. So a lot of those things, just because they told me they couldn't answer the question doesn't mean that there wasn't answers. So I was going to go find those answers, whether you was going to help me or not. I was going to get them. And
Answer my question. Yeah.
for myself, if the Bible is true and if Christianity is what it is, then I can go anywhere and learn anything and it will confirm itself. But the very fact that I did go a lot of places and research a lot of things and it did the opposite of confirming it, I was like, okay, I'm going to go with that. Whatever makes the most sense to me, I'm going to go with that. And I'm constantly learning. So I'm not one of those people that's, gung-ho on one belief and that's just it. Whenever I'm presented with new information that makes sense, I'm going to take it into consideration and apply it where necessary. And I think that, the greatest teachers are always the best students. And I will continue to be a student to this because we're always learning.
Yeah.
I give you a ball for that.
Every day's a school day. That's real.
Nah, you answered my question too when you said, because I was going to ask you, did it make you want to search more? When they told you what you can't do, it's always like, once they tell you can't do something, you want to really go in. So therefore, it was kind of like pushing you a little bit to become who you are and who you becoming. I kind of like get this because I don't get this from a lot of people, but I got to get this star seed. If you know about the star seeds and things, you give me that vibration that you are 100% star seed vibration from you. Yeah. Yeah. Just wanted to let you know that because what you're speaking and how you're speaking, your whole concept, you was already on this mission before anybody could even tell you. So it's genuine.
For sure. And I use every day to help other people find their missions. We don't all have the same mission. We may have the same end goal, which is to accomplish whatever we're supposed to accomplish and make sure we set certain things in place for our bloodline so that when we do leave, that they will be good and they will have the knowledge that they need and so forth and so on and so forth. But, every day I make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do as far as helping people with whatever I can, whatever information I can get. It was moments that I would be on live on TikTok. And I mean, for hours answering questions. I think the longest one I did was about 7 hours. I sat on there all day.
Wow.
And, I just answer questions and, I don't mind. It doesn't, make me feel any type of way or I don't take it away. Even when there's people who don't understand. I recently talked about the 4 stages of spiritual awakening. And when you first spiritually awaken, you have to be upset. Because why y'all been lying to me? Who didn't? That we was living this type of life and we in this matrix and all this BS is going on and they poisoning. What you mean they don't want me to live? What you mean they kidnapping my brothers and sisters and mamas and cousins and taking their melanin and selling it? What do you mean? And then after the stage, want to be the teacher. Now you want to take all that information and you now I got to tell everybody I know. I need to go to my mama, my daddy, my cousin. I need to spread the word. So everybody was going on because I felt without, I was without this information. I don't want y'all to be without this information.
Right.
And this stage of isolation because you realize I can't save everybody and everybody don't want to hear me. Some people not ready to hear me. Some people not prepared to take this specific step forward. Some people will never understand. For some people, it's not in their divine process to understand. They may be here to cultivate you by not understanding. Whatever the case may be. So you go into this place of isolation, and in that state of isolation, you find yourself. And that's usually when you really understand the essence of a spiritual journey, and you start to really prioritize peace. Like people who have truly went into this hermit mode, as we call it, Virgo energy, into this place of isolation and research and study and going within, they start to prioritize peace. They don't want no drama. They don't want no problems. You know, if they can be peaceful, they rather be peaceful because they know what it feels like to not have it. And you know, at that point, you give the information to whoever wants it. Now it's not I'm forcing it on you. Now it's not I'm attacking you and trying to force it into your head. Now it's, hey, this is what it is. You either like it or you don't. You accept it or you don't. I'm gonna keep saying it to whoever hears me, but I'm not gonna force it. If you want to listen, pull up a chair. If you don't, good riddance. I wish you the best. Because this is World War III out here for real on, you know, on a spiritual level. And if you're not paying attention, then you will be a part of the casualties. And that will be on.
Yeah, real talk. That was fire. That was fire. You know what I mean? Man. It's like I want to elaborate on that, but I just want to let that sit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Nah, I agree with you completely. I think that time of isolation is really important. I think people don't really take that time out for themselves and really try to really reflect on a lot of things that they need to. You know what I mean? Like you said, a lot of people hurt us. You feel me? A lot of things hurt us, right? But you need that time to like really patch up that wound that you've been neglecting for all these years. You know what I mean? And it's good because, you know what I mean? Like you got to cry a little bit. You know what I mean? You got to let the tears flow a little bit. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. And at that point, right, you start looking at yourself from a better lens, like, all right, I'm a good person. I'm right in my morale. I'm trying to do what's best for myself, and you can't let nobody else be overpowered and control your own journey. You got to be walking your own light in a way, you know what I mean? Because everybody's gonna try to dim you down and keep you in a darker place. So you got to walk in your own rightness, because a lot of people don't see it that way. Some people might just see it. They probably just in a different frequency of life. So you can't really judge them or hate them for that. You gotta kind of like be like, all right, well, that's their path. I'm on my path. So I gotta respect it.
Absolutely. You know, our life purpose, you know, when it was given to us, it wasn't a conference call. You know, when we get our calling and our mandate, it wasn't a meeting. It was a personal thing. You know, we know what we're supposed to be doing. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of us, because of generational trauma, you know, were raised in environments that didn't know how to cultivate those things because it wasn't done for them. And you can't teach what you don't know because you don't know what you don't know. You can only give what you have. And this is why we have to give ourselves something different. And, you know, what you give yourself is reflected back to you on in the grander scheme of things. So if I'm loving on myself in this time of isolation, if I'm taking care of myself, if I am tapping in, if I am creating boundaries, because everybody don't get access to me. When I elevate, everybody can get access to me. There's a different level of protection between crystals and diamonds. There's a different level of protection between, you know, museums and just regular things that may be outside. There's a different level of protection that you have to have about yourself. Because if you are showing people, hey, I don't really value myself because I allow people like you to come into my life and be disruptive. I can't value myself if I allow that to happen. If I'm allowing you to cause me problems or cause me issues, whether it's a relationship, whether it's family, because people don't think that they can cut their family off. Let me tell you, yes, you can. Okay? Or for taking from somebody who done cut their mama off, their daddy off, their brothers, they grandmama. I have cut everybody off that you can think of. And when I was ready and they were ready to respect me, that's when we came back into union. And if they never could, then we never did. And that's just what it is. And you have to have those non-negotiables because only you can defend yourself 100%. Nobody else can come and defend you because nobody else knows the value of who you are. But you do, and you're supposed to. And if you don't, then you definitely got some work to do.
Yeah. Over absolutely.
Yeah.
She on fire.
Yeah, she going in. Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy. No, I'm like I said, like, you're dropping it. You're really dropping it. I'm just marinating on some of the words, things you just said. I'm like that word. Time to fix things up.
Nah, it's heavy stuff. I mean, I agree completely. I mean, a lot of things is heavy, you know what I mean? Because a lot of truth, man, people don't like the truth sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about their truth. I'm not talking about that person's truth. I'm talking about the actual truth, you know what I mean? People don't like looking at that thing because it's such a gaze that you feel like, because everybody feels like they're in the right all the time, you know what I mean? You got to look at yourself where maybe I'm not always right and maybe I'm not always knowing what's going on, you know what I mean? You got to kind of look at yourself from that perspective at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's how you really gain some real understanding of things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to always be right. You know what I mean? And this person's not really right for what they say. But the truth is what's going on in the actual lens of it. You know what I mean? Somebody's actually watching us. So, you know what I mean? So, she pouring it. You know what I mean? She doing her thing.
I always say, I don't let an enemy bless me with the truth. Tell me the truth, because all that can do is help me. I mean, what you gonna do? Go around and brag? Hey, I told her the truth and she got better. Like, I mean, thank you, So, having that truth is uncomfortable. And the thing about a lot of people, they don't want to get uncomfortable, even though their lives are already uncomfortable. So, getting uncomfortable for a reason that is going to benefit you rather than living an uncomfortable life and staying there kind of way differently. So, getting into that mentality where you look at like you said, the whole picture. I can't sit here and just be, looking at one little thing or worried about my feelings and how I feel right now, because how I feel right now will change. And every moment in the moment is how we create the future. The future isn't created in the future. Right now dictates the next moment. Whatever I do right now, if somebody is to, do something wrong to somebody right now, they could potentially get locked up in the future, cause and effect. So in this moment, I have to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to just simply be better than I was the moment before. It's not about trying to master everything and have all the accolades and the titles and the names. And that's it just is what it is. But it's really about you making sure that every day you are prioritizing being better than just the day before, than just a few moments before. And if you're doing that, then you're always going to make consistent progress. Yeah.
Yeah, you made me, I'm thinking of this movie, Total Recall. You seen it? Yeah, when he had to just go back into himself and reflect of who he was, because he left a message to himself. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I mean? He left I forgot his name in the movie, but he left a message to himself, and he was like, man, he's like, I'm you. Remember, I'm you, and I knew they was gonna brainwash you, and so I'm here to remind you. Like, he stepped out of himself and made that recording, and so it helped him out, and he had to kind of like, because he saw himself kind of like fix himself to listen to him. He had to total recall the trauma that he went through, and to come out, you know what I mean, to be the total recall man. You know what I mean? Yeah. For lack of a better word. Yeah.
Like Hercules, the story of Hercules, he was a god and he was up in the heavens and doing all the things he was doing as a baby, and he was taken and brought back down here, and they tried to take his powers, but they left just enough, and that was his strength. And he into that. And he had his mentor come in, which I would say is his spirit guides, ancestors, come in and teach him how to basically regain his throne in the astrals by fighting the demons that were here. And that's basically what we have to do. We were cast down here, tricked to come down here, forced down here, whatever you want to call it, however you think the beginning happened. Cool. We're here now. That's all that matters. And the goal is for us to get back to where we was. And the only way we can do that is to destroy what got us trapped here in the first place. And that starts with you finding out who you are. Because if you don't even think you're strong enough to do it, you'll never even try. And we got to get that under control first.
Wow.
Oh, look at that little Bill. He's a little Hercules. Show me muscles again. Oh, Hercules.
AD's crazy. That's AD, man. That's AD. That's a engineer. He runs the show. Runs the market. The podcast.
As soon as she said Hercules, I had to pull it up.
I know. and it's a lot of things that she's saying that I pull up in my mental, but it's right there. But then she dropped so many jewels that I'm not going to leave it, but I just got to catch the next one. I'm like, man, I'll catch that train when it come back around.
Yeah.
It's like heavy.
Nah, it's dope. I mean, what you do is dope. You know what I mean? Everybody has to take a spiritual journey, I think, in some point in their life. I think is very important. You know what I mean? So it's good to reflect. It's good to reflect and like really try to control your emotion, control your thoughts. You know what I mean? We got to live a life of abundance and everything like that. So, you know, that's why I think everybody's trying to do it. You know, the biggest time for me was like COVID, because I think COVID was a real good time for reflection for me. So I kind of like sat back with my thoughts. And like you said, you might get mad, you might get frustrated in those moments, but then the good thing is you kind of scale yourself back and you're like, you start understanding now, and that's the best and beauty part about it, because you learn and now you know how to move forward in a way. So you know what I mean, it's moving that forward. You know what I mean, a lot of people like to hold on to the back and hold on to the past because it's so easy. You know what I mean, a lot of luggage you is carrying is very heavy.
Why is that? Huh?
Because that's what you was taught to do. We seen our mama struggle. We seen our grandmama struggle. We seen our daddies be frustrated. We are conditioned to think that struggle and survival is normal. So we were never taught to live. So you have to teach yourself how to live by first teaching yourself that struggle is not normal. And a lot of people think that, you know, their traumatic environment, they don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, I always use the example, like if you've ever been around somebody who stink, they don't know that they stink. Because they're around themselves 24/7. They have no idea until you as an outsider be like, oh, something is a little off, and you try to let them know. But that's how life is. You know, our traumas stink, and we walk around carrying attitudes and disrespectful mannerisms and anger, violence, and all types of negativity. And then we stand and be like, well, I don't know why my life is not going well. I don't know why my manifestations are not coming to me. I don't know why this is not working. I don't know why God is not answering my prayers. And it's like accountability. Like he said, you start there, looking at the full scope of it. And a lot of people want to be victims, because victimization gets empathy and sympathy and all that happened to you. There's no accountability in being a victim, but there's also no strength, no power, no healing, and no elevation either. So that's why victims stay victims. But if you look at people who inspire you, they left victimization and became victors. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's real. You know what I mean? Gotta let go of those fears, man. Tell everybody out there, you gotta let go of that fears, man. Those fears is gonna kill you. Literally.
We definitely need that word. For real. We get too comfortable in the blame game or the shame game, you know? So you got the tools. Keep working. It's working. Hopefully, look at the craft which come in my health. And now you cooking right now, so you know I don't like the mess. I don't like to taste the food before it's already done. I do. Over there, let me get a smell of that. It's definitely good, but man, that's something definitely to think about. And put in perspective, being that we came through so much trauma, and we have a lot of trauma to scoop up out of our lives as a whole and as individual also. Some of the tools that you're giving us is the tools that we forgot.
Yeah.
Or it took it from us, right? Snatch.
Yeah, or just kept us distracted from. If he giving us stuff to, like you were talking about the frequencies in the music, that's serious. Kanye's talked about it. So many people have talked about those 808s and how it affects your brain. I mean, getting up at 6 a.m. and listening to Lil Baby is absolutely diabolical.
But Kendrick,
diabolical.
Yeah, but Kendrick should have waited. At least let him come back a little bit before he put out. Not like us. It came too quick. I'm not listening. But that's Gemini's, they won't be playing, right? Eye for an eye. Big.
hard a lot. They've been kind of going back and
Job.
but we're forgiving until we don't got no more to forgive, and then it's up. So that's kind of where we are with that. But it's a lot going on, and we have to, again, understanding who we are is the first part. Identity really allows you to put yourself in the mentality to act a certain way. If the world around me keep telling me I'm a bum and I believe them, I'm gonna keep acting like a bum. That's just what it is. But the minute that I reroute my brain and I understand that I am more than that, I will become more than that. Your mentality creates the reality that you live. So without going inward, without really taking advantage of your mental and rewiring all of those things, which takes you going back to where it began. Our trauma didn't start in our 20s and 30s. It started when we was 5 and 6. It started when we was 2 and 3. So why are we not starting there? If I see a weed outside, I'm going to pull it from the root. I'm not going to cut the top off of it and expect it not to grow back. That doesn't make sense. So we have to go and dig and find the roots in our lives and, take those completely. And then we can start to see those changes because it all trickles down from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You must know thyself, and to know thyself, you must know your chart.
Know that chart.
And at least your north node. Because once I learned about the north nodes, I was like, okay, this is the direction I'm headed towards.
What's the north node?
North node is kind of like the sign and energy that you're going into. You know what I mean? You're not becoming that sign, but you're getting a lot more influence of that sign as you get older. Do you know what I mean? That's why a lot of us will change as we get older towards a certain style. You might notice a child one way, and then as he gets older, he goes through these phases, and then they become almost like a whole different person.
Not just snowball.
Not just naturally as a human being, but like in their interests, they can change. And the big thing that I was still learning about was your Jupiter return or your Saturn return when you turn 29.
That's your Saturn return.
That's your Saturn return. It's a whole shift. Mm-hmm. And for me, that was 2009. That's like right when I met you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was seeing 11:11. I was seeing all the synchronicities were so heavy. It was spooky.
Yeah.
Seeing 11:11 as often as I was seeing it at that time, it was freaking me out because it was way too much.
What are you saying? Two numbers?
I was seeing 11:11, like on the clock.
Yeah. What did that mean when you see two numbers all the time?
So we call those synchronicities or angel numbers, and it just basically means that it's almost like confirmation. Like, because we are very nervously moving around, always wondering if we're on the right path and we're doing the right things and we're moving towards the right stuff. Our spirit team is gracious enough to send us little signs and reminders that we are, within the right flow of things. But they say millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do. And that's because when you know the layout of the stars are on their own system. Planets are on their own system. They will forever be on that system. And the day that they change is when the whole world will be all over the place, because that's how we move. All of those energies affect us. So we can look 5 years in advance and know exactly where Jupiter is going to be because it's on its own system. So when you look at your birth chart, when you look at astrology, you are able to get a glimpse of the energy, the potential energy that you're going to be experiencing, and you can take advantage of that. And a lot of people, they think that it's just the sun sign, which is your birthday. But when you really get into those different signs, like you said, the Saturn return, you have a Jupiter return, you have, multiple different transits is what they call them, that happen throughout your life and that affect you differently. And we're a mixture of all of those different signs and placements and planetary placements and everything. And it makes us uniquely who we are. So it's literally like your own DNA, life code that you can kind of break down and be like, okay, well, let me look and see what the next 8 months will potentially look like because of the energy and the planets and where they are and how they will affect me personally. Just like, for the next year, Jupiter is in Gemini. So Geminis, we rule communication. This is our time to speak. open your mouth and say whatever's on your mind, but also be careful because we could take it there a little bit too quick. So, it's finding that balance, but it's also expansion with Jupiter. So finances will look better for my Geminis. Business will look better. Any situations dealing with relationship, because we are dual, will do better. Any situations dealing with justice, because we are dual, will do better. So, we are highly affected by those energies. And when you get to know those energies, it's literally like a cheat code. Like back in the day when we used to write down all of the things and literally go verbatim and put them in so that we can beat these levels and have extra tools. It's the same thing. This is a video game. And when you play it like a video game and you act like you were in first person, that's when you really turn up. But the moment that you act like, oh, I'm scared to do this, and you get in your mind and you don't think that you deserve this, or you don't think it's possible, then it's not possible. Because whatever you think will be true.
We're in a giant simulation. It always goes back to the Matrix. It goes numerical because our DNA is digital. Like a CD is ones and zeros. Our DNA at its smallest point is ones and zeros.
Right. Yeah.
Like total simulation and everything. And like astrology and numerology is like a very creative and poetic way of breaking down the patterns of quantum physics that's moving everything. Like we're in a giant clock and there's sine waves, ups and downs, the seasons,
Season make the food taste good too.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's turning water into wine.
Uh-huh.
From Aries to harvest season in Virgo.
What's your name? What's your sign?
That's the grapes.
Religion. That's why religion was so big in Pisces season, because Pisces rules illusions. It also rules dreams and fairy tales. If you've ever met a Pisces, they refuse to acknowledge reality.
Yep, I do.
That's it.
And their head is what it is. And you cannot tell them otherwise until they change what they think. And that's just because that's how they're wired. They're wired to be the dreamers. They're wired to, create. And that's why they are also amazing manifestors, because they can tap into that delusion and really create something for themselves and have exactly what they want. They usually get everything they want. And sometimes that's not good, because what they think they want, they don't really want. That's where they get messed up.
That's true.
Pisces are able to quickly create the things that they want because they're delusional. And, that could be in a good way. If you want to use it in a good way, it can be in a bad way if you want to use it in a bad way. But that's why religion was able to do what it did, because it was in the age of Pisces, which is the age of illusions, magic. Hey, this is what it is. Even though it's not, I'm telling you that it is, and you're going to believe it. But now we're moving from illusions to Aquarius. And Aquarius don't play all them illusion games and all of that. Aquarius is like, where's the facts?
Right.
Okay, you said 1 + 1 = 2. Show me. How did you get there? And they want to know every detail of how you did that before they take it on as a belief.
Terrence Howard.
They got to see it for themselves. They got to believe it for themselves. They got to know it for themselves. So this is a time to know thyself. And when you go in and you know thyself, and you through yourself, you find out what's going on around you too, because it's a replication of that. The world around us is nothing more than who we are. Earth has a heartbeat too. It has a heart. It has water. It has what we call earth, which is body. It has a sun, which is electric, which we call the, nervous system.
Right.
So it's the same thing. If you look at a tree or a leaf has veins, So everything around us is reflective of who we are. And when you understand that it's a mirror all around you, you start to act differently, and you pick and choose more, cautiously what you put in front of that mirror, because it's going to be reflected back to you in that way.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard is a good example of that, because 1 × 1 = 2 now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he's breaking down the signs. That's like a good sign of going into Aquarius. And also Hollywood is falling, because Hollywood and the music industry is very much Pisces. You know what I mean? Because
the stars falling.
Yeah, like a lot of producers, a lot of creators, they create the delusion in their mind first. They create it in your head first, and then boom, you make the movie. Then you make the play. Then you make, because you had it in your head the whole time. But now in Aquarius, it's all about the waters of knowledge are being poured upon us, so to speak, and then it's like They're becoming more logical. So Hollywood's kind of falling. There's always going to be Hollywood. There's always going to be movies. But it's just kind of changing scope now because that which was hidden is now being revealed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of the sneaky stuff is being exposed now and everything. But
You're moving under the waters.
There you go.
say it again.
TV is television, tell a vision. They're telling us the vision that they want us to believe.
Right.
And we watch that every day.
Right.
So when you're taking that, the news included, okay, one of the main ones is the news, to keep you in a state of fear, to keep you in a state of worry. Because if I'm worried all day and if I'm, in fear all day, I can't live. I can't produce.
Right.
If I'm worried about losing my job or not having to do this, then I'm not going to take a leap of faith and start that business. So a lot of the things that they put in front of us are to captivate our attention. But like you said, because we're moving out of that illusion stage and we're moving into the facts, TV will still be there, entertainment will always be there, but now also is the truth. So the truth of those things are also being revealed on major levels, not even just the entertainment as far as what you think is entertainment, but politics is also a part of the entertainment industry. And the sooner that people understand that and you realize that you have puppets in office that you did not vote for, because don't believe you vote for anything. That's an illusion. The people that they put in place are a part of those same actors and actresses that we see on TV when we're watching any other thing. So, really being able to decipher, like he talked about understanding. A lot of this is gaining the understanding behind a lot of these things and being able to put the pieces together. We may have had inklings before, but we didn't have any proof. And now spirit, source, universe, the ancestors is like, oh, we got you. Here's the proof for this. Here's the proof for that. Here's what you need for that. And it's all being given to us, or we're being given the directions of how to get to it. And it's just for us to take advantage of.
Facts.
How do we listen to the ancestors?
Meditation, and talking to them. A lot of people think of your ancestors as being like, oh, mighty great one, no, it's not all of that. Like, how did you grandma when she was here? Hey, grandma, how you doing? The same way that you cut up with grandma is the same way you do in the spiritual realm. The same respect is the same respect in the spiritual realm. So I always tell people start off with basic communication, just gratitude. Thank you for assisting me on my journey. I don't even know what you do, but I'm thankful for it.
We really got to listen up to this part, yeah, because you really got people that's our people definitely they sit up there they sit up there trying to figure out and really listen for ancestors that tell them something, but it's something that you feel, right?
You have to get in silence, isolation. How can I hear when I'm distracted? How can I hear when there's 1,000 different people around me talking?
Right.
How can I hear when the music I'm listening to is feeding me a whole different message? How can I hear when the TV that I'm watching is feeding me a whole different message? You have to first change your environment to be able to hear. It was a reason in the Bible that Moses went to the mountaintop. He didn't stay at the bottom to try to hear from God. He had to go high. Body and get into a secluded space so that he can hear. There was a reason that, he was able to see the burning bush away from everybody. He was the only one who seen it. You have to get into that place where you are acknowledging those parts of you because your ancestors are a part of you genetically. The things that they went through, you have that in your fibers, in your DNA. Us as women, we have memory tissue in our womb. The same memory tissue that's in your brain that helps you remember is also in your womb. So imagine all of the traumas that your womb is collecting, and then you put a baby in there and it marinates in that for 9 months. Damn. Come on, I can't expect for that.
All right.
Man, I'm going to come with an extra plate. I want an extra plate of this. You are serving now. Dinner's being served.
It's all connected. Understanding, that's why I say to understand yourself, don't get into the space where you shun things. When I first came into spirituality, I'm like, I want to get as far as Christianity as possible. But that wasn't helpful to me because there's so many things in there that I needed to take with me that I learned in church. There were so many things, other religions and other principles and ways of teaching that I needed to take. So don't discredit, the medical field because that plays a role in it too. Big Pharma, that's the only time I'm gonna say their name because they like to pull stuff. They is on our necks. You know what I'm saying? That plays a role. They know about the pineal gland. That's why they put fluoride in your toothpaste and your water, the two things you use every day, so that you can be blocked because they already know what's going on. That's why they put hormones in your food so that you genetically can be confused. You don't know if you're a male or a female or you want to act like this or act like that because you're genetically, hormonally imbalanced. They're putting literal poisons in the things that we consume and we wonder why we are not in the right space. So that's why when you hear spiritual people talk about dieting and changing the way you eat, we're not trying to, look at you and force you to do what we do. No, we're trying to say if you put the wrong stuff in your body, you closing your channels. How can you hear, right? If I put the wrong gas in my car, I can't go nowhere. I can be in a car full ability as much as I want to, just like the soul is within us, full ability. But this is the car. The vessel is the car, and I need specific gas to run this engine. So I can't just put anything into my body. I can't just put anything into my ears, into my mind, because it's going to affect the way that my engine runs, which affects how my soul is able to take advantage of the body. So, it's a everything type of thing. Everything is connected. There's nothing that is technically not spiritual. It's just finding the perspective that connects it so that you can understand it and take advantage of it.
That's real. Hey, that's real.
Car, bar. She's dropping all of that.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, we gotta put that together. I'm gonna start. We gotta start going to your channel more. And you know what I mean. If you haven't been, you have to go through her channel and check her out, man. She's definitely on fire right now. Don't let me stop your cooking. We moving over to the greens now.
I'm with that. Nah, man. Nah, this is dope, man. This is a dope conversation. I think people need it. A lot of people just, I just think people need it. I think people need to have a more spiritual side of things because we live so much in reality. And we got to kind of detach that reality sometimes. Because, you don't live in the spiritual realm, but like stay there for a little bit and absorb something. You might learn something, you feel me? So I believe that every time people get so stuck in their everyday stresses, they don't really get to reflect on, just a lot of things that like you said, like you're distracted from, and you're not getting that same. You gotta get some clarity in the spiritual realm. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely. One thing to help with that is start journaling. Write stuff down. I mean, we act like we're allergic to pencils and pens and paper. Write it down because what you may not see right now or may not understand right now will make sense eventually. And we go through so much throughout the day. One thing we don't do is release. You should be releasing every day. If I'm intaking every day, I need to be releasing every day. There is no reason I should be going to sleep with the problems of the day still in my head, on my mind, because when I wake up, that means that I'm not even able to take advantage of this new energy of the new day because I'm dragging my week into it. So then we say, oh, another horrible day. Well, duh, because what did you do about it? You just tracking, like you said, bag lady. You just got it all on your back and you just toting it around, but then you mad that it's heavy. Put it down. At any moment you can drop these burdens and drop these worries and prioritize ways of how to get out of this energy. But it takes you wanting to do it. They say you can lead the horse to the water, but only the horse can choose to drink. So I can make you drink the juice. You're going to have to pick that cup up for yourself and digest it for yourself, for you to get the benefits. The food that you eat don't make me go to the bathroom, nor does it give me the nutrients that I need. So I have to eat it myself. And a lot of people don't want to sit with themselves and go through that process, but I always say, get a journal and just set a timer for 5 minutes and write whatever is on your mind. It can be song lyrics, it can be numbers, it can be a whole bunch of random sentences. I don't care, just get it out because that's the stuff that's going on in your head. And when you do that, you are relieving some of the space and creating space, relieving some of the pressure. And now the things that you want to flow in have room to flow in. If I am buying a new couch to replace my old one, when the new one gets there, what am I going to sit it on top of the old one? No, I got to move the old one out first for me to make space for the new one. So how can we get the answers that we need to, figure out the problems when we're only focused on the problem? How can we get the mental clarity that we need to figure out the direction to move forward when we're focused on 5,000 things that are going wrong instead of trying to put ourselves in a mentality to create those things in the environment for things to go right?
Right.
Very well said. Very well said.
Well, yeah, I mean that's definitely, but people still they just get lazy, they get lazy, man. I mean, when you start giving the food for thought like that, you start to feel a little bit better. Make you feel strange, but it feel a little bit better. People like that. Put some more biscuit. Biscuit.
People, I think sometimes people want it said a certain way. I don't know. I think people don't, they look at everything around the picture instead of the message, I guess, So I think people don't really always absorb the, they don't get it
but
right away.
Or they want to write about you.
They already looking at you like you're the problem.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Because then they don't have to be accountable. Anytime people focus on anything other than the message, that's just a form of excuse. I'm not ready to take accountability, so I'm going to pick apart every other thing, then focus on exactly what you're saying. That's why I said I'll let an enemy bless me with the truth, because while I'm focused on the enemy, they're giving me something that I obviously need to hear. And sometimes your ancestors will let your enemy be the loudest voice because they know that's the one you're going to listen to. They know that's the one that's going to put some fuel in your heart for you to get up. When you got a hater that's saying that you ain't this and you ain't that, all of a sudden now you got powers and you pop out a Sailor Man and you strong and you ready to go. But the people in your life, my grandmama say, you will never be praised in your own pond. Meaning the people around you will never truly see the value of who you are because they watched your whole process. So they know you when you was over here doing this craziness and when you was acting like this type of person and all of that. So when you come to them as this new evolved person, they like, you different, you changed, you switched up. It's like, girl, you're supposed to change. If you're not changing, you're not growing. And that shows why you're still there and I'm over here, right. But it takes you to have that relationship with yourself to be able to stand on business like that. Because as long as you feel like you need those people, then you will need them. And you'll never understand how strong you are when you stand on your own.
It's real.
What we do too much is they like to jot things down. They like to jot little things down, like you said, but I know somebody that jot down things you said. But they never jot down stuff that they got to do. But they just looking at you going like
taking notes.
Yeah, taking notes. Let's just take notes. Quotes. Yeah, exactly.
And there's a power too to writing things down, right? I mean, especially with words being spells and symbolism and the power of sigil magic. With all of the corporate media using sigils in their logos and stuff, those are powerful, especially if they're covered in a circle.
Yeah.
They're contained in a circle. Like, it's the power of symbols, and that all connects to our subconscious mind and our intentions and the way our minds will see symbols, and it'll trigger. It's amazing the power of our subconscious.
Yeah.
But the powers that be know the power of subconscious. That's why marketing is so based on colors and sound, and they're using all the subliminal
Look at that words, market.
Yeah.
Market.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Absolutely.
Do you put it?
When it comes to the way that our mouths are even formed, we have ridges at the top of our mouth. And that's not just there to be there. It's there because as your tongue slides across it, it creates vibrations. And that's how we get speech. So those vibrations, send out signals. That's why we say the power of the tongue, because you're literally sending out vibrations every time you open your mouth, and with writing, letters go back to numerology. letters and numerology go hand in hand. So to write, you are literally, coding is what they call it as well. That's where they get coding from. You are coding into the universe, so writing things is very powerful, especially when you use actual pencils and paper, because that's nothing more than a tree, which is earth. That's damn near magic wand. To create, that's the best way to manifest. All of those things are connected. And again, that's why I say, don't close yourself off from anything. Do that research on the body and genealogy and geography and all the fees. Get them all under your belt and understand what's going on everywhere so that you can, again, connect those dots and then use all of that information to your benefit. They get on us for saying grand rising, but why would I want to be mourning?
I always say grand rising.
To mourn. So it's 8 o'clock. We just woke up and you telling me, hey, good morning. Go mourn. Go be sad.
Stop the press.
Rising because the sun rises. Everything rises, when the sun comes out. If you look at grass at night, it leans over. When the sun comes out, it stands up. The earth even knows when the sun is outside. So we rise with the sun and we go to sleep when the sun goes to sleep. So all of those things are very much connected. Language, all of that, writing, numerology, astrology. You need to know, I say, know a little bit about everything. And that's that way, you're good.
There's new words now people don't even realize they're saying is bad for you. Like, if something is really funny, people be like, I'm dead. I'm like, no, you're not dead. Don't say that you're dead. You don't die. Why would you say that? Because it was so funny. You know what I mean? But what happens on like Instagram? People just put skulls when something's funny. What happened to the LOL? People just be writing, I'm dead.
Yeah, man.
It's all purposeful.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah. The emoji to seal the deal. Apple will, all these companies reinforce what's going on. There's a reason why they've been finding demonic symbols on liquor bottles and monster bottles and all of these different things that people use, because that's what they created it for. They understand some, symbolism. They understand, like you said, sigils, which are very, very powerful. And a lot of logos are sigils. So you have to be very, very careful, what you support, what you put your money into, what you allow into your atmosphere. I say treat yourself like a country. If I go to Mexico or Jamaica or anywhere else right now and I don't abide by their rules, I have consequences. So if I'm treating myself the same way, being very cautious about who I let into my space, how I let them treat me, how I let them go about things while they're around me. It all is about protecting yourself, on all levels: physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, all of those things are connected. And when you start to really pay attention and allow yourself to be open, no one is saying change your life overnight, because that's just not possible. Spirituality is a lifestyle. So it's an everyday process. It's not something that you pick up and put down like Christians do. No tea, no shame. But, it's something that we actually do every day. It's something that you're just not trying to get a check for like Christians do. No tea, no shame. But, it's because we understand the actual connection with the world around us. I say spirituality is connecting with yourself and the world around you, because all of it affects each other. It's a mirror. So whatever is within will be without as well, or outside of myself as well. And y'all have the yin and the yang here. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
This is deep, man.
Yeah.
But this is good, though. I always say we got to go deep. You know what I mean? The surface is so safe. It's so comfortable. Everybody's so comfortable in the surface because it's nice, You got to go deeper, you know what I mean? Discover some treasure. So now I respect that. I respect all the, what you're saying right now, because I think it is really needed. And I think people should really listen to this, for what you're saying. Because it's true. I think it's really true, I wanted to say something. I just forgot it. But I'll come back to it.
It's Gemini season.
Oh, yeah. Nah, we here. You know what I mean? She doing enough for us. You know what I mean? She killing it.
Yeah, lighting it up right now, man. Some props to the Geminis, man. And you coming out, dropping out this fantastic knowledge and everything. Any more questions? We got some super chats.
She's killing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, we do have super chats. Let me pull it up right now. 1 second. They were coming in fast. So let's see. Shout out to Fellow Beast's birthday again.
Yeah, shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Happy birthday.
We got
Happy birthday.
Man,
super chat.
Speaks. I like the name. Where do you get the name Poca? I'm sorry. Poca.
So one of I've always loved Pocahontas, and you know, the long hair. It was kind of, you know, that thing at first, and then I was in a relationship a few years back, and he kept calling me Poca, and I was like, and that was the relationship that kind of made me go within, and you know, I ended that relationship, so it was just very fitting for where I was at the time. And then me being a Gemini I'm always going to open my mouth and say something. I can't never say something.
As you ruled by Mercury.
Hey.
So PocaSPEAKS that's just how it was.
Nah, you are Poca. Poca look just like that.
And Gemini is also the lungs. It's the arms, and it's the lungs, and it's the breath. So like Geminis are going to speak more because they're pulling in a lot of breath. You know what I mean?
2 arms, 2 legs.
Yeah, 2 arms. They'll box. A Gemini will box you. You know what I mean? Because they rule the hands and they rule the arms. And
that what you said? Wait.
Rule the throat chakra. You know, that's also Mercury. Mercury rules the throat chakra because it's communication. And, you know, we really pride ourselves on communicating, you know, because we have to learn. The only way you learn is through communication. And Geminis understand that very early on in life. You know, if you have a Gemini child, you know, they ask 1,000,001 questions and they're not satisfied with the answer until it makes sense to them. You know, if they grasp it, then you can say it 5,000 times and they still gonna look at you like, okay, you got another example? Like, until we can get it, we're not going to take it on. But once we get it, we quickly can learn things and just kind of keep it in our back pocket, you know, and you'll get in a conversation with us and we'll talk about 50 million things and then come back to topic number 1 and make it come full circle. And that's just, you know, Mercury. Mercury also rules Virgo. So Virgos have that same ability as well when it comes to communication. Virgos just don't like the being in the limelight type of stuff. They don't want to be all social. They're hermits. So they like to be tucked away, minding their business, but they still are great, fantastic communicators, which is why Cat Williams came out. And
yeah, he turned it. I was about to do my impression, but yeah, he did turn it up. Yeah, he did turn it up. Like after that, the floodgates were open. And
Virgos are perfectionists. And if they hear something that is off, they're quick to correct it and to fix it. Yeah. And they're the first to point out if there's a crack in the glass. Right. Like, hold up, there's a crack in the glass. It's not perfect yet. Look at this little thing right there. They'll see it. That's why we need Virgos, because they see the small things that are wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The best. Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He's a Virgo too.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, what were you saying?
Their attention to detail is what makes them, you know, amazing, especially when it comes to business or when it comes to law, when it comes to things dealing with rules or paperwork or research, studying, teaching, all of those things. They're amazing at that. Organization, you know, that's just their niche, because when they get focused on something, they got to really focus on it until they get down to the very last issue and problem. And they're going to try to figure it out and solve it. And, you know, Geminis will go far enough, but eventually we can be like, okay, let's come back to it. Virgos, they're going to stick with that very thing until they get it. You know, Geminis, we can kind of bounce around until we get everything kind of together. But yeah, they're amazing when it comes to details. They, you know, which can be annoying for them and which kind of keeps them closed a lot of things because they don't allow themselves to just go with the flow. They have to have everything planned out. If you ever talk to a Virgo, they have a specific way that they see their life, and they're not really going to, you know, go away from that unless they feel they've come into some new information that changes that.
Right.
Other than that, they will let you know, hey, respectfully, this is how I see my life going. You either with it or you're not. And I wish you the best. You know, they really don't care too much.
Nah, that's true.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah, it's true. My other son.
perfectionist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Nah,
You ready for these super chats?
it's Virgo. Yeah, real
Go ahead.
quick. Just is Virgo? Is that in line with the Virgin of Mary?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I winged that one. I winged it.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
That's why it's the M
I think
glyph.
she has.
Yeah,
know you-
I personally haven't gone too into that specific connection, but that's definitely one of the connections that I've heard from the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see the M glyph
Okay.
as
What's the sign of the Virgo? M Cliff?
it's the M glyph. It's the house of wheat. It's Bethlehem.
Right. House of bread. Yeah.
That's- yeah.
So the W, the mem is like a yeah.
Yeah, remember how? Go ahead.
I remember.
Yeah,
No, we
Virgos
talking
are
about-
usually depicted in tarot as the hermit card.
Mm.
So they are the ones who, again, they like are in caves. Like if you think about a Virgo, it's almost like
Wow.
a cave.
Yeah, I know.
They
Yeah.
go to the cave, they stay
That's
to
so lit.
themselves, they come out and be social when they feel like it, but it's not too long. And then they go right back into that cave and you know,
That's
you
true.
may not
You know what? Wow.
later
That's,
on, you know, thing.
man. Now that is so true.
Mm.
That's like Rudy, right?
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
really elements to it.
So-
yeah.
And then yeah.
The ancient astrologers would follow the moon first because it would go from house to house the quickest. It changes the quickest out of all of them. You know what I mean? So every 2.5 days the moon's changing,
Yeah.
but you could feel it. So when the moon's in
I do
Virgo, people notice a little bit more anxiety. They're a little bit more nitpicky. They're a little bit more detail oriented. They're cleaning more. There's a lot more detail action happening. Like, why do I feel so anxiety? Oh, the moon's in Virgo. And if it's a full moon in Virgo or a new moon in Virgo, you're gonna feel it more.
Is
You know what I
that
mean?
why Michael Jackson did the moonwalk?
Hey.
Yeah,
He's
they-
a Virgo. Yeah, he was on it. He did it on national.
Yeah, he
stage.
knew a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Crazy. Huh?
Which is why he was attacked the way that he was. You know, when you know a lot, you get attacked the most. So
Mm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
true.
That's what it is.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, man. House of Wheat.
So
Bethlehem.
so heavy is the crown.
Mhm.
That's what Kendrick said in his lyrics too.
Yeah.
There you go.
You ready for these super chats? We got
Yeah.
about 4 of them so far.
Okay.
Let's go.
Energy X says Chris Rock said it best. A lot of people want to play victim, and right now there's too many people in the hospital with paper cuts.
Oh, there you go.
In the
right.
hospital from paper cuts is what he tried to say, right? That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jinx.
It was what was the movie? Gonna Get You Sucker? I'm gonna get you sucker. Remember he cut himself in his finger and he like screamed out loud. It's almost like that part. I think it was the oldest Wayne Keenan. And he was like cut himself. He was like, oh, he's holding his hand, but it was just a little paper cut. That's how we are though. We push things too far, get too emotional and things like that instead of dealing with trauma as Poca said.
Yeah.
All right.
We gonna work on it, Poca.
There you go. There you go.
Let's see. Jinx Power says your music, Priest, your music helped me wake up again. KP, so thanks.
Peace.
Jinx Powers also says, Queen, your mic is going in and out sometimes. We noticed that, but
But her light shone the fourth.
There you go.
that's just the Zoom going back and forth.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Energy X says, PocaSPEAKS, you are on fire. Thank you, sister. Also, we live in a simulation. We all have an energy bar at the top of the TV screen. Hashtag video games.
There you go.
Energy bar. I thought he was talking about the antennas. You remember the old antennas that was on top of the...
Oh, yeah.
We don't even see them yet. We still be communicating, yeah, right?
Mm.
They used to have the
that's
antennas.
no different from the hair on your head. The hair on your head are antennas.
Mm.
You know? It
Mm.
always, for us, it always curls to the sun. We can't get it to lay down. You know, us laying it down has to be forced. I had to put heat on my hair for it to lay down because it naturally wants to spiral right to the sun. And it absorbs that energy and that information and it sends it through your nervous system, which, you know, you are able to then take that power, that energy. It's almost like, you know, Black Panther. He would absorb the energy and then use it. Same thing. We absorb the energy of the sun and then we use it the way that we want to, however we want to, because we can do that.
Mm.
It's real.
The vibranium.
The warriors would have long hair too, because it would like help them sense predators.
Yeah, exactly.
Like long hair, because it's like antennas.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to sense
that.
Your taste buds are little micro hairs. The reason you're able to hear is because the sound vibrates off of the hairs in your ear canal. The reason you're able to see is because there's hairs in the eyes that reflect what's happening, and you are able to then understand it with your brain. So there's hair all over. That's why they say the hairs stand up on your skin when stuff happens, because your hair is sensory. It's picking up on everything that is going on around you and sending you messages so that you know if it's fight or flight.
Man. Yeah, I want everybody to make sure y'all support this sister right here. And go to her channel right away. Hit her Cash App, whatever it is. I want y'all to support this sister. This sister is definitely on a tidal wave. I want to say a tidal wave right now.
Links in the description.
Knowledge is like water. And you got she hit the pond.
Remember, you said that you sensed my presence.
Oh yeah,
I picked them up over here at the side, and you were like, I sense AD is here.
Yeah, because I felt you was coming through.
It's your hair, man.
It's crazy. I mean, maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I take good pride in my head, though.
You got the powers.
Yeah, you gotta take care of it. That's the real talk.
The berries are very important.
Mine's right under my scalp.
hey, look, it's all. It's all good.
Let it flow.
It's all good.
Let it flow. Yeah, exactly. Let it go. Nah, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I'm gonna let you get up out of here, but I want to tell you that you really rock the podcraft, and we could do. If it's up to you, I would love to do a part 2 with you. Yeah, and we enjoyed the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding that you. I want to get into some more stuff with you. We enjoyed the knowledge that you just brought to the podcraft, and
we just scratched the surface.
Yeah,
we just scratched. I know we scratched the surface. They said scratch and sniff. You know what I'm saying? That's the she was trying. Yeah, that's the whole ambience of the whole thing. So she, I know we scratched the surface.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that.
Thank you for creating an environment that is like this. I'm very, very particular in where I go because, again, I know who I am, and I don't like to go in every environment because every environment doesn't deserve me. Yeah. But being here, your platform is amazing. I watched a couple of you guys' videos before I went ahead and agreed, and I was super excited all day to come here, and now I know why, because this was absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to whatever we do in the future. From here on out, it's definitely a great connection.
Man, shout out to Vinny.
Vinny hooked it up.
Yeah, shout out to Vin Dogs.
Man, Vinny strikes again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. Shout out to Vinny B.
Yeah, exactly. So, man.
All the links are in the description.
Yeah, all your links is in the description. Like AD said, that's man, this is so, man, I hate to see you go. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll be following you on your line and everything, and I just want to say thank you for coming to the craft once again. Ladies and gentlemen, PocaSPEAKS.
All right. If we don't see you, happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
All the Geminis, we up for years. So don't y'all hate on that.
That's right.
And
that's
you June, right? You June?
June 15th.
June 15th.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. My mom's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
June 16th. Yeah.
My birthday, yeah.
And that's Tupac, right? Tupac is June 16th.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube was on the 15th.
Cold as ice. Huh?
Yeah.
You gotta get 2 gifts, right? You gotta get 2 gifts for Gemini.
Yeah.
More personalities.
Why not? We deserve it.
Yeah,
Give him the same gift twice.
Yeah.
Oh, nah. Don't do that.
Well, you 2 fish. You know what I mean? Well, it's 2
Yeah,
fish,
I'm 2
right?
fish. One's going the wrong way.
Yeah, that's his cat.
I got one fish going the right direction. The other one's going the wrong direction.
Oh, right. Well, there you go. That's it.
One of them's drunk, the other one's sober.
Is that what under those waters? Those primary waters, primordial waters.
Yeah, but see, Pisces drink like fish because they're fish, so that's why I don't drink no more.
Do fish drink? That's yet to be discovered. We'll build on.
I don't know. Like,
Or are they just breathing?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even have kombucha.
Stuff to make you think. Next time we're gonna drink some tea. We'll have some tea because we have a tea ceremony that we do, and you get to choose whatever kind of tea that you drink. But this is we call our weekend Wednesdays. So after this, we go chill out and
We get your groove on with the oolong.
Yeah, with the oolong, get the groove on.
Yeah.
So they put something smooth on. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we do that. We do that all day. Man. All right. You can still just do what you do. All right. We want to say peace to you.
I'll be walking offline. Again, I appreciate you guys and thank you again for allowing me the space and opportunity to share a couple of things with you all. And I'm definitely looking forward to being back here for any and everything that we do in the future. So
Okay.
again, you guys have an amazing night, an amazing week, and I will definitely see you guys later.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, that was golden. That was
Great
golden.
guest.
Yeah, man. Living the life like I'm golden. Living the life like I'm golden.
Yeah.
That's one of those golden moments,
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep. You know what I mean?